In essence, zoning has frozen neighborhoods in time, and that has led to neighborhoods staying the same and not growing with a demand for housing. Hi, my name is Ratana Sangslijan, and I'm a senior city planner for the city of Minneapolis. So for folks that don't know, zoning regulations are the primary tools that cities use to regulate land use.
I'm Jenny Schutz. I'm a fellow at the Metropolitan Policy Program at the Brookings Institution, and I'm an urban economist by training. I study housing policy and housing markets. So one of the things that we have done through zoning is make it impossible to build anything other than a single-family detached house on about 3/4 of the land, even in major cities. So even in places like DC and Philadelphia and San Francisco, where land is really expensive, an awful lot of the land is locked up in single-family houses with yards.
So what that means, with the other 25% of the parcels in the city, we have to make sure that we can fit production and processing uses, job centers, commercial and retail, and multifamily housing.
Upzoning is a wonky term for increasing the allowable density that can be built under zoning. The best way to prevent gentrification and displacement in low-income and minority neighborhoods is to build more housing in wealthy white neighborhoods. So we've had a period where almost all of the new housing has had to go into lower-income neighborhoods because that's the only place you could build. Housing affordability is a huge problem for poor families, and it's increasingly a problem for middle-income families too. So whether you're living in Manhattan or in Chicago or in rural Mississippi or Texas, out of the renter households, almost half are paying more than 30% of their monthly income on housing costs. So if we're really concerned about social equity, upzoning is essential.
Development and growth in cities doesn't have to look like 20-story skyscrapers. It can also look like missing middle products, and also this term gentle density that can look anything from townhomes to low rises. So what we have over there under construction is a mixed-use development with residential on top and some ground floor retail on the bottom.
So that's what we mean by gentle density, increasing the number of units you can build on a single parcel of land, but doing it in a way that's very much in keeping with the character of the existing neighborhood.
Missing middle housing can address our housing shortage and our housing affordability problems.
We're having a political conversation about the problem that affordability creates for a lot of households. We're talking about the fact that our zoning really is a relic of the 1950s and that it needs to be updated and modernized. We're starting to get people more engaged with realizing that this is not just an isolated problem in New York and San Francisco, that this is a national problem and we need to talk about solutions.